पे पोस्ट डालते हैं तो क्योंकि कभी कभी लास्ट मोमेंट कैंसिल करना ऐसा सब हो जाता है। ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि। भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। My namaskars to you all. We would be commencing chapter number 11, Ekadash Adhyaya. In the last class, which was held, I think 2 weeks back, so we had concluded this 10th chapter. In the 10th chapter is called as Vibhuti Yoga, and this 11th chapter is called as Vishwarup Darshan Yoga. So, from this 10th chapter, what we see until 9th chapter, we see a lot of philosophy coming in, and here as if the theoretical part we can see in that way. It is not that no concepts or no ideas come again in the remaining 9th chapter. It is not like that. However, of the first 9 chapters are more condensed with the ideas, and here 10th chapter onward, what we see is as if meditating on the proceeds of those ideas. So how they translate, how they reflect. So see, here from 7th chapter onward, this idea is going on, and continuously everything is revolving around that idea. When in 7th chapter he said, Bhagavan said that 7th chapter is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. So Vijnana, the idea of Vijnana. So Vijnana here is not science, not to be mistaken. So Vijnana, Vi Pratyaya Vishesha Jnana, that is something special knowledge. Special knowledge. So knowledge, yes. What is knowledge? That I am Jiva, you are Ishvara, or you are Ishvara, I am your Ansha, or everything is Brahman, that is knowledge. So what Upanishads reveals, that is knowledge. What is Vishesha Jnana? And that is what Krishna reveals. So Sri Ramakrishna has used this word, I admire. See, very wonderful. Sri Ramakrishna has used this word Vijnana again and again. And he has used precisely in this sense. He gives one example for that matter. He says, it's wonderful, very wonderful thing. See, what is Ajnana, Jnana and Vijnana? So it's like, say, like you are climbing stairs. So you say that you are moving from one stair to other stair, from lower stairs to upper stair. Okay. So like as if you are giving up the lower stair, you are climbing up upon a higher stair. As you give upon your lower interests to further or procure or secure your higher interests, this is the Satvika Tyaga. It will come in the 18th chapter. Bhagavan will describe Tyaga in 3 ways, among many other things. So, Tyaga, which is not coming due to some compulsion, not due to some kind of delusion, but it comes as a natural progression and your evolution. That kind of Tyaga. So, any spiritual progress, when you are doing any Sayyama, self-restraint, and you do not indulge on the lower plane of your interests, so that you can secure your seat on a higher plane. That is the idea of climbing the staircase. So Sri Ramakrishna says that when you are climbing the staircase, and he says, you say like neti neti, like not this, not this. This is the process by which Vedantins want to realize the Atman. That by Viveka, by discrimination, you refute, you deny that this is not the truth, this is not the Atman, this is not the consciousness, and you move on. Like this is not, this Deha is not the Atman, Deha is not the true consciousness, Deha is not the ultimate truth, Deha is not the true being. Because it is subject to change, it is changing continuously. What is in a constant state of flux cannot be constant. If something is changing, so how can be at the same time it is changeless? So if it is changeful, then it is not changeless. Reject it. Go to the next level. So you go to mind, or you go to first prana, indriyas, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. You deny one by one. Neti, neti, neti. Neti means na iti. This is not it. Na iti. Iti, when this word is used, when conclusion is arrived, iti was. Now this is it. And na iti, this is not it. Move forward. Na iti. Now, so by the process of neti neti, so similarly this our Shankaracharya Stotram, Mano Buddhya Ahankara Chitta Ninaham Nacha Shrotra Divve Nacha Grana Netre, it's the same process. This Viveka is in that beautiful composition. Shankaracharya has so made it very wonderful. You can recite it, you can remind at least it, and if you are really spiritually advanced soul, it will really reflect into your discrimination, that your identification will be loosened off from these things, and it will really gravitate and concentrate in the true self, at least as nearer to it. That would be beneficial for you. Our this identification, so to say false identification with these things, create hell for us, because I identify with the body, and then with the body comes everything. Your gender, nowadays 200 kinds of it, and your race, and so many other things which comes along with the body. So get rid of it. Do not identify yourself with it. This is not what you truly are. That is the idea. So with the process of neti neti, in this way, you reach the roof. Reach the roof. So what, every time he is climbing the stairs, what is the discrimination is that this is not roof. Go further. This is not the roof. Go further. Na iti, na iti. And when he reaches the roof, iti. This is the roof. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says, now that is jnana. You reach the pinnacle, the epitome, this Mount Everest of spiritual evolution, progression. And Sri Ramakrishna says, even that is not the end. So it is quite mind-boggling. When meditation itself is difficult, samadhi is a very far-reaching cry. And Sri Ramakrishna says that it is not the end. There is still further to go. Now, where further to go? That is the highest point. There is nowhere to go after that. So Sri Ramakrishna explains it in a different way. Like, you reach a mountain top. So what? Then what do? Then you enjoy the glory of the nature everywhere around that you admire. So Sri Ramakrishna says that the person who has reached the roof, then he climbs down the roof and sees that the material with which this roof is made, stairs are also made of the same material. So what does the person says? So this jnani, when he returns down from that step, if that is the divine dispensation, if that is the divine will, without divine will that person cannot return from there. If he returns, then he sees that the Brahman, the consciousness, the absolute consciousness, which we have realized, it has also as if transformed, it is pervading everything and enveloping everything. Isha vasyam idam sarvam yat kincham jagatyam jagat. That what he sees, that everything, this consciousness is pervading everywhere, that Godhood is present everywhere. That that transcendent God is also immanent everywhere. So what he realizes is that consciousness as his true self, he sees that he has become everything. So when the individual realizes this, Sri Ramakrishna says, this is Vijnana. So climbing down, reaching down, that this full circle he has made. First denying and then accepting in a new dimension. So it is like digesting that knowledge and turning it into wisdom. Two different examples he gave. He said, some people might have heard about milk. Some people might have seen the milk. But there are some who has not only seen the milk, but also drank it and become very healthy. So he says, so this third case is the Vijnana. So some people might have heard about Varanasi. Some people might have visited Varanasi. But there are some people who live in the Varanasi, who knows every nook and corner and lanes and bylanes of the Varanasi. The knowledge of the third person is different from these two people. That is Vijnana. So who has gone through up and down, and Sri Ramakrishna in various ways he has given different ideas. Now here in the 7th chapter, when Bhagavan says this Jnanam teham savidjnanam idam vakshami asheshata, that I will give you this not only knowledge but along with this wisdom, this special knowledge. And yad jnatva neha bhuyo nyat jnatavyam avashishyate, knowing which here on this earth there will remain nothing which is to be known. This is his proclamation. What a grand idea. He says that knowing which there will remain nothing to know upon this earth. So this, and what is that? You see, what is that Vijnana? He explains in 2 verses. This same idea that one divine which has become everything. So it does not come here in 7th chapter. It definitely comes therefore in the 9th chapter, because 8th chapter, as I said to you, is like intervention due to Arjuna's query. And here, so 9th chapter 4th and 5th verse. 9th chapter 4th and 5th verse. He says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshva vastitah. And the 5th verse, na matsthani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram bhuta bhrunna cha bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavana. This is the 2 verse. He explains. So this idea continuously is proceeding forward. That what does it mean? That I have maya tatam, means I have enveloped idam sarvam jagat, that all this universe, all this creation is enveloped by me, my agency, Maya, in the 3rd case, the case of the instrumentation. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina, again in the 3rd case, by my unmanifested avyakta murti, entity. Murti means the entity, avyakta murti. And here these are, when you will see the highest ideas are put forward, and the unique characteristics in Upanishad you will see, and Gita, or in general say Vedanta, whenever these highest ideas come, they will always be presented in contradiction. Contradiction in the there itself, self-contradiction, so that you do not mistake. And Krishna again and again he does this. He says, and he immediately fears that Arjuna will misunderstand and he contradicts again. Not to be taken that way. Immediately he will say like that. 7th chapter he will say things, I have become everything, this thing, that thing. But again, not in that way. So 7th chapter I always point out. So as if he is in a flow, and he immediately realizes that this fellow will do mistake, and immediately he becomes conscious of it, and he says not in that way. So here you see 12th verse. So he's means his mind like a poet. He's traversing his mind. Raso mahapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shesh suryayo. So his mind is floating, that I am that the liquidity of the water itself. I am that. I am that Prabhat, the shine of the sun and moon, etc., etc. So I am the manliness of the man. I am that beautiful grand saint of the earth. I am the what? Every glorious effulgent spheroid you see in the space. I am the glory of it. I am the life in every being. So how sophisticated these concepts are becoming, that what is, when he is saying that I am that, so what is that? This is, I am the life in every being. Everything he is saying. I am the seed among all beings, etc., etc. And not only he says, and he makes in the 12th sentence, he is coming like that. So dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. So whatever a desire in an individual which is not opposing to dharma, so which is according to dharma, I am that desire. Meaning that I am the dharma itself. So he is saying, and then in 12th chapter, in 12th verse, in the first part, he says this. Echaiva satvika bhava rajasas tamasascha ye matta eveti tan vedhi. And until now, so verse is divided into 4 quarters. So first 2 quarters comes in the first sentence and second 2 quarters comes in the second one. So he says all this, not only that, all these bhavas, all the modifications of your mind, whether sattvika, rajasika or tamasika, so all good, bad and ugly, everything that is me, he says, everything that is me, they all come from me, he says that. And he realizes that this fellow can commit a mistake, and immediately in the last quarter he puts a phrase, he puts a disclaimer, na tvaham teshu te mai. And immediately from this point onward, the discussion course immediately changes. He is not talking anymore in that vein now. Na tvaham teshu te mai. So not only that, this is not the first time. Again in the 9th chapter, again same thing happens. When he is saying, then immediately puts a disclaimer. So that natu aham teshu, that I am not in them. They exist. This is something mind-boggling idea. So some people so there are many scholars and they spend a lot of their energy, time, hours, years, lifetimes after so many things. So one time, this discussion one going on, somebody wrote a big compendium titled "The Locus of Maya." So the great puzzle was, where does Maya exist? Where? So Shankaracharya brought in this idea very prominently in the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. So because that avikari Brahman does not have any vikara, therefore it does not transform into the world actually. Not really it happens. He used the word again and again, eva, as if transformed. So they say it's an illusion. Reality is never turned into an illusion. Illusion is always projected upon the reality. Reality never becomes the illusion. So they does not use the Parinamavada or Parivartanvada like Vishishtadvaita institutes. So even if that understood, due to Maya, this happens. So where does the Maya exist? This is the question. So if it is said to be exist in Brahman, so there would create some philosophical problems, etc., etc. So therefore that big research volume, whose conclusion was that it is inconclusive, that where does the Maya exist? So this idea that he says that you have to take it literally many times. Even scholars also are mind, they hesitate how to interpret, how to put it. Here, literally, what Bhagwan has said. All this, everything he says, ye chaiva satvika bhava rajasas tamasascha ye. All these bhavas, all these modifications of mind, good, bad, and ugly, rajasic, sattvic, or tamasic. He says, matta eva eti, means they come from me, they proceed, they stimulate from me, they proceed from me. And he says, when he puts that this one disclaimer, na tu aham teshu, that I am not in them, they are in me. This is what Bhagwan has said. That everything, whatever this dream, where the dream exists. When you see the dream, where does the dream exist? Whether dream exists apart from you? No. If you are awake, where does the dream go? It is like that question when a child asks that when I am seeing the reflection in the mirror, when I go away, where does the reflection go? Where does the reflection go? It came forth from you, it goes away with you. Your dream has come from within you, it disappears inside you. This is illusion, it has come forth from you, it will disappear in you. Everything, therefore, he says, I am not in them, it exists in me, I do not exist in them. Natvaham teshu te mai. 7th chapter, here in 9th chapter, similar idea, he says that I have covered whole universe. Masthani, see here word, masthani sarva bhutani na cha aham teshu avastitah. That all beings exist in me, masthani sarva bhutani na cha and aham teshu avastitah. I do not exist in them. Do not misunderstand me. If you would say that I exist in them, then you would consider me as material. You will turn me material. I am not that. I am not material. Nachaham teshu avastita. And then he says, then again he contradicts. Nacha masthani bhutani. Not that even these beings also exist in me. You would be fool to consider that. Nachamasthani bhutani pashyame yogam aishwaram. He says, see, this is my aishwarya of yoga. This is the divine glory of my yoga. This is who I am. So if someone understands Vedanta, someone understands the drifts of these statements, then they will be almost intoxicating to think about these ideas. For others, it will say, what the trash it is. It might appear to them like that. So again and again, whenever he will see such propensity that or some possibility that even in 7th chapter he has used (24th verse, 7th chapter). Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam abuddhaya param bhavam ajananto mama avyayam anuttamam. So he says that abuddhaya, the people of no intelligence, idiots, means how much vexed he must be. So how much vexed he must be, irritated. He says the idiots understand me who is avyaktam, the really unmanifested, considers me as a vyakti, as an individual. So here is the born son of Devaki and Vasudeva in flesh and bone. And he says that I have become everything and you idiots consider me as a person. And he is standing there. What a great contradiction. And he says, he puts the truth that is the idea that the idiots consider me Vyakti. They consider me an individual. That's something manifested. The gross, I am not it. And he says again, he puts it. So, who am I? There should be confusion. If you are not Krishna, then are you somebody X, Y, Z? So, to demolish that, to any such possibility, he says, Param Bhavam Ajananta. So, not knowing my higher nature, Param Bhavam, what kind? Mama Avyayam, that I am without division, without limbs, without sections. Avyayam, Anuttamam, there is nothing comparable to me. You cannot compare anything with me. That's what I am. This is pure Vedanta. So now this idea is going on throughout this 10th chapter, therefore comes at the end of this 9th chapter. So Vibhuti Yoga, that we understand when we are trying to understand that Vedanta as far as knowledge is concerned, that I am Brahman. So this is I am not body, namono buddhi ahankara chitta ninaham, etc. etc. I am Brahman, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this my smrutis, I am not the karma phala, or not sanskara, or not whatever attributes I am thinking. I am nothing of this sort. I am that pure witness consciousness, ever present, ever untainted, ever unmixed into all of this affair. It is residing ever present in its own glory, constant, conscious, ever present, ever blissful. That I am. That's all right. But this Vibhuti Yoga, or this idea from 7th chapter onward, now in 10th chapter, Bhagavan showed that how literally translates the idea of bhakti, therefore. The idea of bhakti, therefore, is based upon this knowledge, this jnana, this wisdom. हाँ महाराज. हम्म 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 हम्म. अरे আমি ক্লাসে আছি মারা, ওই গীতার ক্লাসে আছি, তারপরে কথা বলছি. হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, ঠিক ঠিক ঠিক. So we might have seen this. If this wisdom element does not come, this vijnana element does not come, this Vedanta, it will turn that person a dry, secluded, and unconnected to this world. It will, therefore, it has a great possibility, if there is a great jnani of that kind, there would not be any fault. But most of us who are not that kind, we would become hypocrite. That's what we would become. Because we cannot live on that plane. We cannot come to terms with our reality. And we will have some concoction of ours. So, one Punjabi Vedanti came in Dakshineshwar, where Sri Ramakrishna was living. So, many people were admiring that he is a great Vedanti sadhu. But this fellow, he has some dark secrets. He had some bad business, some illicit thing going on. And Sri Ramakrishna came to know about it. Sri Ramakrishna also, means I understand, sometimes I really wonder what kind of a person he is. Most of the time he is in samadhi, not able to take care of his own cloth, roaming naked, half-aged person. And that kind of Paramahansa, but he has all the knowledge of whose affair, what is going on. And he come to know about what this fellow is this, so to say, this Vedanti fellow, he is having some affair, he is going some house of some bad repute, etc., etc. And Sri Ramakrishna, he could not, he could not hold back that it is his affair. He straight away went to him and, crossed him, that you being such a sadhu and you are doing such things, and it does not behave you. It is not good of you that you live such duplicitous life. So Sri Ramakrishna straight away crossed him. And that fellow, he is not arguing with Sri Ramakrishna like two adults. Sri Ramakrishna is a childlike person. He is also trying to brush him away like a child. So what he says, that fellow, he says that this world is not real in all three states, and it only becomes real at that time. He gives such, such humbug as argument. जब तीन काल में दुनिया है ही नहीं, तो क्या गलत क्या सही है ना? So kind of argument he gives, that this world does not exist in all three states or all three times, meaning past, present and future. Then how come it is only real, even his illicit affair? And Sri Ramakrishna becomes so angry. He becomes so angry over him, and he comes to his slang language of his village, and he says, "Rascal, I will urinate on your Vedanta." He says like that. So Sri Ramakrishna, he cannot digest this hypocrisy. So Sri Ramakrishna has many times he has used, such a language that these people also had to edit. That not necessary. So when he is, so we see that at certain point of time he is losing his cool, and he will become, then he will not keep any limits of civility or anything. So, and in such mood, the people who have seen him, there are a couple of incidences where he is in such mood, no one there would be able to challenge him. That something would come out of him that no one would be dare to challenge and cross him again. Then if he loses his cool. So, point is that this Vedanta, so that's why when Swami Vivekananda said, when we say Vedanta, Swamiji said, we always mean the Vedanta inclusive of Dvaita, Vishishta Dvaita and Advaita. Sri Ramakrishna also, he was never one-sided, and he always included, he accepted as all these three aspects as steps to the realization. He said, no matter what. So Sister Nivedita, she really points out in her introduction to Complete House of Vivekananda. So, regarding what is the contribution of Vivekananda Ramakrishna into this age-old tradition of spirituality and dharma in this Bharatvarsha. So, she points out two things. So, first thing being that he wiped away the gap between the secularism and spirituality. He said these two things are not distinct. It is the one mind, one self, and it is to be practiced everywhere. You cannot be spiritual in only one portion and aspect of your life. That is not the true approach to spirituality. Second thing, she points out here this difference that earlier to Vivekananda Ramakrishna, it was believed that Dvaita, Vishishta Dvaita and Advaita, they are the individual choices. And Karma, Bhakti, Yoga and Jnana, it is like sequential ladder everybody has to climb. Sri Ramakrishna changes it. Sri Ramakrishna says that Bhakti, Karma, Yoga and Jnana, they are the choices. Rather, Dvaita, Vishishta Dvaita and Advaita, they are the sequential ladder of realization. That you, anywhere, even if you are belonging to the path of Jnana, you will only start with Dvaita, dualistic nature, because truth is away from you. Then you realize that truth is, you are the essence of the truth, but you are still not the whole. And in Advaita, you know that you are the whole truth and there is no separation, there is no distinction, there is no difference. Dvaita, Vishishta Dvaita and Advaita. And for that matter, one can start with Karma, Bhakti, Yoga or Jnana. So even for a Bhakta, so he might like dualism, the ultimate end would be Advaita. So, without Vijnana, therefore, you see, in Shankaracharya's life, there is one instance, there is one incident, episode, very beautiful one, and very nice narration. Whoever has narrated that, whether Padmapada or Sureshwaracharya, whoever has narrated that, his encounter with the Chandala on the ghats of Varanasi. The Shankaracharya is going for the bath, and from there comes a Chandala. So Chandala, these terms have meaning, who is called Chandala, etc. So there were different kinds of these kinds of names where the people were born out of the mixing of the different varnas, and therefore they were not categorized into any of the four. So they had no place therefore in the proper mainstream society, and therefore they used to take such kind of work which was nobody ready to care for. So they were like concepts, those start with some noble ideas, but slowly degenerate into very despicable ones. So Chandala is one such individual, and he is traveling with 4 dogs on leash. Okay. So he had almost touched Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya, he is the Sakshat Ansha of Shankara. He is Jnani, he is realized. He is born, though still he is born of a Brahmin parentage. So immediately that sanskara wakes up. Sanskara wakes up and he questions. So he becomes little irritated, and then ensues a dialogue between these two people. And it's a wonderful dialogue, very philosophical one. It's very enthralling. So ultimately, Shankaracharya, he realizes the mistake, and he realizes that the person, the Chandala who is arguing with, he is no other than Vishwanath Shankara himself. is no other than the Shankara himself, and these 4 dogs are 4 Vedas. So that is realization. He prostrate. So anyhow, that is the legend. For many great beings. So Vedanta therefore has this this possibility of this creeping in this kind of sectarianism or fundamentalism. So with that knowledge, you will consider yourself Advaita Vedanti, especially Vishishta Dvaitins. They believe in lot of devotion. Dvaitins, they are totally into devotion and dead against the Advaitins. But as Sri Ramakrishna presents it, as Vivekananda presents it, at Ramakrishna order says this, sees these 3 things together. They are the different phases of the realization, maybe of the same individual. The truth is far, then it is Dvaita, duality. When you consider it as your essence, then it is Vishishta Dvaita. And when there is no difference at all, that is Advaita, there is no duality. Now, this Vijnana, it means that when that through that realization, when we see that by negating everything of this world, there is this possibility, because to realize, to reach this extreme state, this samadhi, etc., they are no ordinary thing. They are almost close to impossibility. It is so difficult. You try and you know why to believe somebody's word or why to hear somebody's word. You try and you know how difficult it is. What samadhi means. We cannot even conceive the idea of how dhyana itself. Now, in that samadhi, when you have lost the consciousness of yourself and you are only aware of the object of your meditation, you have become one with it, that is samadhi. And nirvikalpa samadhi, that is again another thing, therefore, where you have the absolute knowledge and forget about returning from there. Nirvikalpa samadhi, you are not even aware of the object of your meditation, or you are not even conscious of it. Your I, or your definition, which was demarcating you from the rest, is dissolved. How can you bring it up? Sri Ramakrishna gives that example. That salt doll, a doll made up of salt. Where from the salt comes? It comes from the sea. That salt came from the sea. Now this doll is made up of that salt, and it went to the sea. Where would the doll go? Where would the doll exist? That salt is intermixed with water. You cannot identify anymore. Where is the doll? There is no doll anymore. How come from that stage a doll can return back? How can? So that is how it is. Returning from nirvikalpa samadhi is like. So it is not meant for the individuals. It is not meant for the ordinary individuals. The only who are ordained by God, they return from their stage. And they tell this truth. Shrunvantu Vishve Amrutasya Putra. They proclaim. Their proclamations are called as Upanishads. So that's why they say it is not product of human ratiocination, logic, and rational and reasoning, or it is not made by man. It is apaurusha. It is in this context. It is in this context. Now, when we say this vijnana, when this idea comes forth, comes down. And this is what says that this, as Vedanta says, this world is real, Jagat Mithya, Brahma Satya. So Vijnana says, as Turiyananji Maharaj, these were his last words. He was Vedantin, Advaitin, since his early teenage, at the age of 11, 13, at the age of 13. At the 11-year age, he was consecrated into this, invested in this Upanayana, Gayatri Mantra. And then from 13 years of each age, he was practicing Advaita Vedanta. Imagine that. Before coming to Sri Ramakrishna, at least 4 to 5 years or 3 to 4 years, he was practicing that Advaita Vedanta. He was so ardent believer of the ideas at such tender age. When he was going for the morning bath in the Ganges, their people were shouting, "Crocodile, crocodile." All were running away. He also instinctively turned back. But then he immediately realized, he said that, is this what the Vedanta I believe in, Advaita I believe in? I all the time say that this body, this world is not real. What I am afraid of? So he stood in the same water. At such age, such confidence, such guts, such a spiritual prowess that individual had. Sri Ramakrishna honed that, and he lived all throughout his life such a life. So he was true to true Advaitin, and these were his last word. Brahma Satya, Jagat Satya, Satyam Satye Pratisthita. This is the idea of Vijnana. So when this comes, that's why Sri Ramakrishna, when Vivekananda first time heard Jive Dayanoy, that no compassion to the jivas, to the individuals, but the service to all beings, Shiva Bhave Jiva Seva. And it was only Swami Vivekananda. There were so many, but he only had such spiritual potential who could grasp the far-reaching implications of that statement. And therefore he said, if the fortune favors me, if God wills, I will take this message to every home, to every doorstep. Shiva Bhave Jiva Seva. Therefore we see this in practice, that what we do as service for us individuals to try to gain and understand and digest this idea of Vijnana, that God has become everything. The Advaita Vedanta in practice, the practical Vedanta. Swamiji's 4 lectures are there. This is very difficult idea, but as Swami Turiyananda said, he was in Varanasi. He was of the nature of, a true Advaitin. He was not inclined to engage in organization or service or affairs and this thing. But towards the end, so he was reluctant to participate in Swamiji's this movement. Swamiji still pleaded him, emotionally blackmailed him and took him to England. Literally blackmailed him. That person was not at all willing. And Swami Vivekananda with his all tears and that, Hari Bhai, will I die myself alone, vomiting blood, and you will not do anything? And as soon as he saw his tears, he said, okay, I will come. That's what happened. He was not at all inclined. It is Swamiji's love, so much love he was there that he could fight the gods. Mother Kali said to him when he was in that Shanti Ashrama near San Francisco in USA, that if you stay here, a great deal of work will be happen here. Don't go from this place. But he said, Mother Kali gave him vision 3 times. And he refused 3 times. No, he said, I must go and see Swami Vivekananda. And 3rd time when he refused, Mother Kali made a very cruel and ugly face. She was totally unhappy. And still, Hari Maharaj, Swami Turiyananda took a kamandalu full of water. He made 3 pradakshina for the ashram. He said, 50 years, nothing will happen to this ashrama. Exactly after 50 years, that ashrama caught fire, burned down to ashes, nothing remains there. Such was the prowess of these people who could take fight on such divine powers. माँ काली को रिफ्यूट कर दिया, ठीक है ना? And unfortunately, when he reached Ceylon, he got the news that Swamiji had passed away. He didn't even go to Belur Math single time, ever once. He didn't even go there. He simply went for tapasya and he plunged himself into earnest austerities. That kind of individuals, what kind of sincerity, what kind of the stomach and strength these people had. Now, Turiyanandaji Maharaj, he said this: Brahma Satya, Jagat Satya, Satyam Satya Pratishtita. And he said this, that if you want to realize the Brahman, the path shown by Swamiji is the best one. If you have that, even 3 days are sufficient, he said. But what to do? We are idiots. What can be done? So, Swamiji's idea. So, if these aspects of these Vijnana aspects of that, how that divine translates, permeate and percolates and permeate everything, and making ourselves, raising ourselves to that consciousness would be the path forward. Therefore, this Vibhuti Yoga, this is a symbolic, something selective approach of Bhagavan Sri Krishna to show a sight, an idea, an example to Arjuna, and therefore to all of us. So that is the 10th chapter Vibhuti Yoga. So 11th chapter, we will begin again. Krishna's some different ideas. It always happens with us when we are not capable, we are not qualified, we are not eligible. How we waste our energy when we have the opportunity. So anyhow, thanks to Arjuna, we have the Gita. So regardless of that, so again Arjuna puts some idea, brings up some of his own, and it takes Krishna to satisfy it. He asks him to show him this Vishwarupa, and Bhagavan shows him. And after that, again, from 12th chapter onward, this discussion, how that should translate this Vijnana, this has to translate into Bhakti. This Jnana will translate into Bhakti through Vijnana only. So, through this 10th and 11th chapter, we will arrive at the 12th chapter, which is Bhakti Yoga. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.